This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Come on in, everybody. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, sunshine. Today, rain.
That's a
Yesterday
song.
was nice.
What a difference a day makes. What a difference a day makes. It's an old song.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
No, it's an old song.
Okay.
I know all the old songs on this show.
That's why it all works. We're happy
Old soul,
to have you
old
along.
song.
That's
Yeah.
it. Charlie Manos, Kelly Sutton, Annie Nye, Jeff Roberts is upstairs. We are streaming all around the world right now on CircleCountry.com and all of our streaming platforms, including Peacock and Roku and so many others. So thank you for tuning in. We've got a lot to get to. James Dupre is going to be coming in just a little bit. His debut EP is out. And that's weird to say because he's been around for so long.
Yeah, I wonder, obviously, we'll get the whole story, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking recorded and then shelved, and it sounds great. It's a great record. And he's at the Opry tonight, along with a special appearance from Randy Travis tonight at the Grand Ole Opry. So come hang with me at 7 tonight. It's going to be fun.
That is going to be very, very special. Entertainment headlines coming up as well. Brand new drink just unveiled at Eric Church's bar.
Oh, you caught my attention.
Yeah, I knew I would. Also, Blake Shelton doing a collab with his neighbor, and Starbucks 2 new hot sauces. That made me scratch my head for just a second.
Yeah, me too.
Why are we talking hot sauces with Starbucks? And we're going to rewind to the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, Trisha Yearwood and Terry Clark. But first, a little Ashley McBride.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. We're getting set for an Opry show tonight. The big red curtain going up at 7. And this guy is going to walk out on the stage. Hello, James Dupre. How are you? Good. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in and being a part of the show. I know it's hard when you get up early and then you got to stay up late, but it's a pretty cool gig to stay up for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'd stay up for a week to play on the Opry. Yeah. So
When was your Grand Ole Opry debut?
September 14th of 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you remember, if anything, about that night? Because it is it's one of those days where everything is happening and everybody wants to talk to you and they're expecting a lot.
Yeah.
So do you remember a lot about it?
It was a whirlwind for sure. But, you know, a lot of my family was here from Louisiana, and that was really special. And getting to experience backstage, hanging out with them backstage and everything. So, you know, I'm looking forward to doing that again. My parents are here again. So,
they are?
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
It's interesting because we've had a lot of different artists say this, and you've done some really cool stuff in your career and continue to do cool stuff on the road with Randy Travis, who'll be with us tonight at the Opry House. But there's something about playing the Grand Ole Opry that really legitimizes everything in the eyes of family. It's like, well, now you've made it, right? Did you find that to be the case? Like this was like a big deal for them?
Absolutely, yeah, and for me as well, because I've always, you know, said, you know, you don't really make it in country music until you've played on the Opry, and that's always been kind of like the bar that I've set for myself, and so that was a very special night for me and my family.
So you now live in Lafayette, Louisiana. Yes. It's so hard for me. I'm from Indiana. It's, you know, Lafayette and here too, right?
Yeah, but the rest of the world, it's Lafayette.
Yes. But when you see it and you know it's ingrained in you, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
But where did you grow up? What was the parish?
Evangeline Parish. It's the community's called Bayou Chico.
Wow. All right.
Thank you for the pronunciation.
Yeah, you notice I didn't even try. I'm like, I'm just going to ask James to say it. What was life like growing up? What were you listening to? What were the influences?
A lot of country, obviously, you know, but I really got into like James Taylor, the songwriters like Jackson Browne and, you know, the Eagles. And, you know, my parents listened to a lot of like 80s rock, Journey, you know, Styx, all those guys. And so it was a wide variety of influences.
What were the accents like? Because it's so funny. I love Louisiana because there are so many different accents that happen. You can be from the state. You can have 2 different people from 2 different sides of the state that sound absolutely nothing alike.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, one of my really good friends that's from New Orleans, I thought when I first met him, he was from New York.
Yeah, it does. They do have a kind of a Brooklyn or Queens kind of flair to the accent.
So what were the flavors of all of the people around you?
Well, where I grew up, actually, if you go 10 minutes south, it's really Cajun. You know, the accent's very Cajun. And if you go 10 minutes north, it's completely different. It's like almost like a Mississippi or an Alabama, kind of very what you would think Southern.
Lainey Wilson.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
And so it was really interesting going to school with all the different accents but my grandparents spoke mostly French, and so the accents are very strong still, even though mostly it's mostly English now. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Did you get to New Orleans much at all?
We did every now and then. We'd go to a Saints game and things like that. But my parents didn't really party that much, so we.
Listen, I grew up in Providence. Now,
Yeah.
Boston, Massachusetts is 43 miles away. 43 miles. My entire life, I thought Boston must be just like the other end of the universe, because my parents went, Boston? We don't need to go to Boston. That's too
far.
Too far. Like, so I understand the point.
We're not going to drive that far.
yeah.
Well, we just had Fat Tuesday, and I have some
Right.
pictures of what was going on. So I get it.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot, especially if you have kids. You're probably not going to be like, hey, let's go down on Bourbon.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different life.
I did Mardi Gras in my 20s in New Orleans, and I was like, I had a good time, but I'm probably not going to do it again.
Right, yeah. Well, you talked about accents, though. What a melting pot of music, of
Sure.
food. I mean, it's
yeah.
just such a rich environment to call home.
Absolutely. Yeah. I get really spoiled with the food. I mean, it's just so nice to be able to go right down the road and get some incredible food. You're surrounded by it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the brand new EP, Perfect Time. Where did this come from? Was it on the shelf? That's what Charlie and I were trying to figure out. Was this something that you'd already done that got shelved, or is it brand new?
Well, it's been recorded for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of collecting dust for a while. It didn't really know if, what would happen to it. And, but yeah, I'm just so excited that it's finally out.
When you listen to it now and you put it out there for people, what are you hoping that they take away from it when they hear it? What do they need to know about you as an artist?
I like songs that make you feel something, and the 4 songs on this EP are all for me they feel very nostalgic, and like they're sort of like looking back and reflecting on things experiences that you may have had, and not necessarily heartbreak, in general, but like just life experiences and longing and missing someone or something.
Oh, yeah. That's something that everybody relates to. That's the beautiful thing about music. It might be a song that's 20 years old, 40 years old, but when you hear it, you still relate to it because of the theme of it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So what was happening in your life when you were writing these and recording these songs?
At the time, I was just going through a divorce from my first wife. It was probably about a year after or so, but I was kind of new in town and trying to figure things out, and I just happened upon these 4 great songs. I didn't write any of them, but they were pitched to me, and along with a pile of other songs, and these 4 were the ones that I thought rose to the top and were pretty special songs.
Could you talk about working with Kyle Lenning and Jerry Douglas? I mean, you talk about 2 names in the music industry, right? There's a fair amount of Grammy Awards on their shelves.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't realize at the time. I mean, I knew that they were incredible, and you see the Grammys on the shelf and everything, but I was really spoiled to come to town and immediately start working with legends like those guys. And I mean, it was really a great experience, and the musicians that they brought in to work on this EP was, it was incredible.
Yeah. But the songs are timeless. It literally, if you told me we did them a month ago and just rushed it out, I would agree with you there too, because it's a beautiful record. It really is.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to play Perfect Time, the title track. So give us the backstory on this song.
So this one was written by Neil Carpenter and Scooter Caruso, and it's basically about when something good ends, trying to find the positive in it.
Okay. Right now, we're playing it all around the world on WSM. It's Perfect Time. James Dupre.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
We've got more with James Dupre. He's in the studio with us before he takes the stage at the Grand Ole Opry tonight. The new EP is out. It's Perfect Time. Just came out last week, and we've been talking all about that. We also need to talk about the fact that you go out on tour and do so many days with Randy Travis. How did you even meet? Like, give me the backstory on how that came together.
The guys we were talking about earlier who produced my EP, Kyle Lenning, was Randy's career-long producer, and so I kind of met him briefly through Kyle way back. But we actually got to know each other on the set of a movie that we did in 2012 called The Price. And it was my first acting, experience. And, Randy obviously is a great actor and has been in a lot of great movies. And he kind of showed me the ropes. And we traded songs and just hung out, and it was a great time. And then kind of stayed in touch after his stroke. And it was in 2019 when I was approached by Mary and Randy for this idea about going on tour to bring Randy's music back out on the road. And of course I was like, absolutely, count me in,
And the musicianship on that stage is phenomenal every night.
Absolutely, yeah. It's his original band that's been with him for decades, and it's just an incredible experience.
How nerve-wracking was night number one to sing these songs with him on the stage?
Very. And it's still, sometimes if I think about it too much, it's still nerve-wracking. But, it's just been a lot of fun and, like I said, a great experience.
So after doing it, and this is so interesting too, because you were going out and you're keeping this music alive in a way and bringing it to audiences that may not have heard it the first time around with Randy. So how do you approach that? Because you're not doing a Randy impersonation at all. You're still singing as you. Did it take a minute to figure out what that was going to be like to figure out your footing?
Well, I think that the way I approached it was I want to be me. I want to continue to be me. I'm not trying to impersonate Randy.
Right.
But we do have a lot of similarities in our delivery and the tone of our voices, and obviously growing up listening and studying his music, it did influence me in a lot of ways. It influenced my sound, and so I think that all really just worked perfectly.
So talk to us about the best use of AI that we've ever seen. Like, we hear about AIs taking over and it's being used for so many things that are scary, but bringing a voice back to Randy and using AI to generate his voice, but you were the bed of this song. I don't quite understand all of it. Can you explain it as best you can for us?
Well,
all?
I don't understand all of it.
I was going to say, do any of us, we just look at it and go, that's cool. But yeah, talk to us a little bit about how that happened and how we got a new Randy Travis song.
Yeah, so the song where that came from was actually a song that I had recorded with Kyle Lenning back in the day, and it was one of those unreleased songs, and it was one of my favorite songs. It's beautiful, and I was really upset for all those years because it would never be released. And then last year it was just they approached me with the idea of this AI project, and I had heard of AI, but I didn't really know what it was. And but of course I was like, yeah, this sounds amazing, and just to be a part of something so groundbreaking, was really cool.
Mm-hmm. So it's your voice. You go in, you sing the song, and then Kyle Lenning had sent a bunch of vocal tracks of Randy's throughout his career to these guys in London, and they had an AI building platform, I guess, and they used those vocal stems to build this AI for Randy. And so when it was done, they took my vocal track and processed it, and it came out sounding like Randy, more or less. How freaky and cool was it to hear that for the first time?
I got chills. It was like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't even know that this was possible. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the first time I heard it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. It's Randy.
And I'm me. I can't imagine being you hearing it for the first time. So, but I just realized though, he truly has been the soundtrack of your life. You were born in 84, somewhere around there. I mean, 86 was on the other hand going number one. So like your entire life is filled with Randy Travis
Absolutely,
songs.
Yep.
That's so cool. All right, well, you've got your guitar. You're going to play something live for us.
Yeah.
It Is What It Is.
Yeah, this one's called It Is What It Is, and it's basically a song about, when you're out with somebody new and you see your ex who's also out with someone new, and it is what it is.
Love it. It's so good.
Thank you.
All right. So tonight you're going to be on the Grand Ole Opry stage. And then we're looking at your list, and you've got shows on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 29th. Like when you hit the road, you guys are out for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy year, and it already has been so far, and we're having a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
And more dates got added. Mm-hmm. So Kentucky, Texas, Illinois, he's coming your way. Elkhart, Indiana, get ready. Even in West Virginia. So it's going to be a very, very busy summer for you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for
absolutely.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have fun tonight on the Grand Ole Opry stage.
Yeah, come hang with us.
Randy's going to be there tonight too, right?
Yes, he will.
So cool.
Along with Rhonda Vincent and The Rage, T. Graham Brown, Jade Eagleson, Colin Ray, Clay Walker, and Lady A will wrap it up.
Oh.
Tickets at Opry.com. Come hang with us.
What a good night. James, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Perfect Time is the new EP. Check it out, everybody. We're back after this.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
We're welcoming him in, and we have lots to talk about because there's new music, and we just found out he's going to play the Grand Ole Opry on April the 4th. Mike Farris, how are you?
Doing good. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. You've been busy.
Been pretty busy. Pretty busy. It's good to be busy. Yeah. It's good to be busy.
It's so fun that I look through, and we were talking about this earlier. I don't know that we've ever had anyone come into the studio who has a Grammy, Americana Award, a Dove Award. Like, you literally are the definition of music gumbo. You got every flavor.
It's crazy. We were thinking about this. I mean, for what it's worth, I'm the only person, I think, in the universe
Go for it.
who has all three of those, which is it's kind of a good it's a testament to what I do, really, because when we started out with doing my second solo record, Salvation and Lights, we not long into that we realized, man, we're doing, like, on Friday night we're doing like a rock club, and then Saturday we're doing a bluegrass festival, and Sunday we're doing a church. So it was like, I don't know many people who was doing that, So
I love that.
But that's a testament to the music, really. The spectrum is just so wide and beautiful.
Well, at the end of the day, too, a genre is just a label, but there's truly, at the end of the day, there's two songs, good ones and bad ones.
Yeah.
And good ones will be good ones forever, right?
Yeah. That's the way I look at it, really. I mean, but the stuff that I do, really, the things that I've listened to is one thing, but like American songbook kind of stuff, or jazz and stuff like that. But the music that I do is really all kind of comes from what I call the sacred South, is what I was raised with, right?
Yeah.
So which is everything that we know that's made up popular music, right? So it's jazz and rock and blues and country and bluegrass and string band and all that stuff is and soul and R&B, all that stuff I was raised around. There was no limitations to it, growing up. So all that stuff makes its way into your music, which is good and bad, because for me it's like, I want to play it all,
Famously, when you were just listing all of that, the only person that came to mind is Elvis.
Yeah.
To have all of those influences and all those flavors and take that in different directions with his music.
Yeah.
So tell us about growing up. Like, what was home like and what was playing in the house?
Well, I'm from just south of here, Franklin County, and
Winchester, right?
Winchester, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And grew up on AM radio, WCDT.
Nice.
In Winchester. I guess I shouldn't be calling out call letters.
No,
to
it's okay.
competition.
Hey, we've been around for 100 years. We can take one mention.
I think y'all are
good.
good.
It's fine.
I think y'all are established.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay with y'all.
Yeah, we're going to laugh. We hope.
But yeah, we grew up. We didn't have a lot of money. My mom and dad were busy trying to make a living and stuff, and most of the time. But music got played on Saturdays at my house, and we didn't have. My dad loved music, but he only had like 5 records, and so he had 2 Jimmy Rogers records, two Hank Williams records, and he had a Johnny Cash record, Rock Island Line. Mm-hmm. That's all he had. But it was an illustrious collection, though. So that was kind of where it started for me. That was the first musical imprint of my life, you know. And then I started school, and then that radio station, WCDT, was the window to the world for me, because they would play, you know, Conway and Loretta, then they would play the Staple Singers, then they would play some gospel music, then they'd play, you know, Foreigner or something. You know, it was really crazy.
Oh, you're taking me back to my childhood. So I grew up in Rhode Island, and WPRO, 63 WPRO was my station. And it was literally the same thing. It was a smorgasbord of great music. They would go from Behind Closed Doors to Rose Garden to Your Song by Elton John to Billy Joel. You know, it was just the craziest mix of like great songs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, I don't know how we kind of got away from that. I did marketing strategies and whatnot, but that's really how people listen to music, especially today. I mean, people's music palette is broad and wonderful, you know. So I think people are catching on to that, though.
What was your first band?
My first band was a band called the Screamin' Cheetah Wheelies.
Yes, 90s, right?
In the 90s.
Yeah.
And we came up out of Nashville. So
you didn't have a band in high school? You didn't have like that terrible garage band with a really bad name?
No.
Darn.
Well, Screamin' Cheetah Wheelies was a pretty bad name.
I don't know. It's pretty memorable. It's pretty memorable.
You should, man. It was a desperate time, man. I had a bad. They were giving me bad names. I was like, oh my God, this is not getting good. But but we came up out of Nashville, which was really cool. I mean, it wasn't cool at that time, actually, because you know, we got to New York. We were on Atlantic, and people were looking at. They would look at us, and they would go, "Where are you from?" We go, "Nashville," and they looked at our feet, and go, "But you have shoes on, though."
Oh gosh!
I was like, "Are you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
For real. Yeah. So, they thought we were real hayseeds. It was really funny.
But anybody who ever saw you live, know you guys could take the 6-minute song and easily make it into the 16-minute song.
We totally, man. We were hippies. You know, we're still hippies at heart, really. But you know, we got embraced by the jam band world. That was kind of our thing. We toured with people like the Allman Brothers and Dave Matthews and Blues Traveler, and we were opening up for everybody. We were the perennial opening act for a long time there.
I love that. So how did that then transition into solo work and like finding all these different homes with winning Dove Awards and CCM and then going Americana? Like, how did that all start to splinter off?
Well, the band, I left the band in around early 2000s, and I had really wanted to. I mean, I had so many great musical friends. I really wanted to explore music beyond. That was the only band I'd had, you know, for 12 years. So I was really excited to go on that journey. But I was also dealing with some, you know, drug addiction at the time for quite a while, and once I had like finally came to terms with that and started really working on it, facing that, music became like, I was like really scared to get back into music. I really kind of didn't want to get back into music after that, because it was a dangerous place for people like me, right? Right. So my manager at the time, Rose McGathy, who passed away in 2007, we were having this really poignant moment, and we were talking about life. You know, it was like we were both at this this crossroads. At this, you know, I'm having this rebirth of being sober, and she was diagnosed with lung cancer. She was passing away. She was facing leaving, and so we were having this really poignant moment. She was going, "What do we do?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I don't know if I want to go into music." She said, "You should just write. You should just make a record of the stuff that you play around the house." And I was like the old black gospel music. She was like, "Yeah, you should just record that record." I said, "I don't think, where are we going to where's that going to fit? And she goes, it doesn't matter. She goes, I'm filthy rich, and we'll just do what we want to do from here on.
I love that.
I love that.
And so she said, so basically, I just looked and I went, you know what? I can just do whatever I want to do, and I'll just do what I love, which is, the moral of the story always, it's like, just do what you love and let everything else follow. And then that record blew up for me.
Well, we're going to play one. This is from the brand new album, The Sound of Muscle Shoals. We're going to dive more into that, but tell us the backstory on Ease On before we play it for everybody.
Ease On is a song that's about going back home and reconnecting with your roots and where you came from and celebrating all that. Celebrating your mama.
I like it.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
We are having so much fun chatting with our buddy Mike Farris, who's in the studio with us ahead of playing the Grand Ole Opry on April the 4th. Have you looked to see if that's going to be your date, Charlie?
I will be there on that Friday. It's a Friday night, so I'm very excited. And this is a nice little prelude to that Friday night because our Assembly Hall food stage is the wood from the early 1950s Ryman Auditorium. It's the same wood as the Circle.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so this is going to be like a 3-week early sound check for the Opry. So
I love it. I love it.
Just a little preview, of what's been going on.
But before we get there, you got Third and Lindsley this weekend with a full band.
Yep, we're going to be celebrating the release of Sound of Muscle Shoals this weekend. We're going to be doing a show down in Muscle Shoals in Florence, actually, on Friday night with most of the original band that recorded with me down there, and then we run up here Saturday and do it all over again.
What is the magic of that city? Because both Fame and Muscle Shoals Sound are two of the historic studios that aren't in Nashville. You think of Nashville, but man, the record's in that city.
Yeah, it's one of the great heritage, old label studios in the world, and it's so you would never expect to be in the middle of nowhere and have all that happening, but it's really amazing. And the same thing kind of happened with Memphis too. When they set up shop, all these great artists and musicians just kind of came out of the woodwork, out of the neighborhood, so to speak. So they owe a lot, probably everything, to Rick Hall, first and foremost. But also when you go down there, there's a magic I believe this place is like some kind of like vortex, some kind of portal. It's a really, really spiritual, vibey place. It really is. And so I think that was the draw when people started coming down there to record. Paul Simon and the Stones and Aretha Franklin, all these people. I think that was they got down there and they were like, this is the vibe. And so I go down there quite a bit just to play golf and be in the nature of aspect of Muscle Shoals. But for me to go down there and do a record with those guys has been something we've been trying to do for a long time. And I really don't think I could have done this record anywhere else. I don't think I could have done it in Nashville. There's down there, it's a slower pace. It's a little more focused and a little more laid back kind of thing where let's just get in a room and make it on our own terms. And it was the most incredible recording experience of my career.
I mean, I truly think there's energy in places. And there's energy in the wood from the Ryman, the wood on the Circle and the stage.
Yeah.
We have people say all the time, when you step on that wood, you feel it. You feel like a vibration. So I can for sure see being in those, incredible studios like Fame where you've had so many people come through. There's a little energy left over, a little stardust left over that rubs on you.
Totally. I mean, we when you go to Fame, you go to Studio A, you're recording in the same room that Wilson Pickett, Aretha Franklin, Arthur Conley, Arthur Alexander, Etta James sang I'd Rather Go Blind in that room, standing on the floor, in the same floor. And it's just, and on. And it's a special place, man. And like I said, I mean, and it continues. That's the beauty of it. And people don't really, when they talk about Muscle Shoals, they, in general, what comes to mind is the R&B side of it, the soul, because that was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But the music that these guys, the palette that they work from. You can go down and record any kind of record pretty much that you want to record, and you'll get the best musicians possible. It's really special place.
And it's full circle some nights at the Opry because Barry Beckett, who's one of our two great drummers along with Eddie Bears.
That's right.
His dad, Barry, Mark Beckett's dad, Barry, was one of the original Swampers down
Sure
there.
was.
So it comes home every night when Mark is on the drums.
We love it.
Yeah, isn't that crazy cool?
We would love for you to play Sunset Friday. Give us the backstory on this song.
So Sunset Road is a song that I wrote. It actually came to me before COVID.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a prelude to COVID in a way. It was really kind of talking about spiritual things. It was almost like it was like helping me to prepare for what was to come with COVID, because the song is this. It's almost like a little children's story. It's about the futility of worry. Is what it is, basically.
Oh, we all need that. So,
Right.
you might have to play it twice so it really sinks in for us.
Well, that's me. Sometimes my prayers are, God, would you just don't hesitate to just pick up a skillet and hit me over the head with it
Sure.
sometimes, bro.
It needs to not be subtle. All right, Sunset Road.
Right.
Here's Mike Farris. Mike Farris, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Man, we love having you in here. Going to be 8 p.m. Saturday night, 3rd and Lindsley. And April the 4th, come and see him at the Grand Ole Opry.
And can I say something that just happened that has only happened one other time in my nearly 20 years here at WSM Radio? The only other songwriter to ever ask us to sing was Sean Camp when he was doing Two Pina Coladas. And that had a very different feel.
Totally
so we're
different
honored
vibe.
that you are the second ever to be
Yes.
brave enough to ask us to be a part of it.
That's amazing. I love Sean. Man.
Love it. That new album is out, The Sound of Muscle Shoals. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
We got more on Coffee Country and Cody after this. Good morning, everybody. There, I'm plugged in now. I couldn't hear myself. I was like, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you were there the whole time.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I couldn't hear myself. I was like, what's happening? Oh,
It's like if a tree falls in the woods.
I got unplugged. It's really funny. There are a lot of people that are like, I don't know how you do it when you have something going on in your ear, because we have a little earpiece that we listen to. And I said, but I've been trained for so long, much like a dog, that if I don't hear myself, I think something is wrong.
Right.
So immediately I was like, something's wrong.
Right. And you've done enough television in your life, exclusively television for a long time, that you're used to people talking in your ear while you're
Yes.
talking. For
Yes.
someone who does not do much of that at all, that is very distracting. Like
It
you
is
almost
weird.
immediately stop because
You
who's
can't.
talking to me?
You can't stop. You have to process what they're saying to you while you're still talking, and also listen
To what you're saying.
listen to what you're saying, know what you're saying. It's almost like you go on autopilot of what you're talking about when someone is in your ear because you're trying to process this.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird.
Okay, we need 30 seconds and we're going to the live shot.
I
Keep going.
absolutely do not have any real special skills. You know how they have on a resume special skills? And it's
Right.
like juggling or unicycle or what?
Right.
I have no special skills other than I can listen to somebody talk in my ear and talk at the same
Yeah,
time.
I'm like Joey Tribbiani. I just make up all my special skills, and then
Good.
hopefully one day, I'll learn to speak French.
It'll all come together. That's all it takes. Okay, we've been talking about some really cool stuff that's going on in entertainment headlines for you this morning, including the fact that the Girl Scout cookies have announced that there will be 2 departures. The reason I say it's cool, that usually means that they've got new flavors that they're about to introduce. So this year is the last year for 2 flavors. They're not any of the popular ones. Don't worry. Thin Mints are fine. But s'mores and the Toast Yay cookie, which the Toast Yay cookie kind of looks like it's just a shortbread cookie, right?
In the shape of a piece of toast.
Oh, that's why it's the Toast Yay. See, I didn't even notice that.
More coffee for you if you have any decisions to make later in the day.
I legitimately did not even notice it was in the shape of toast. I'm like, well, that looks like a shortbread cookie to me. I don't know. Okay, thank you.
In the shape of
Charlie.
toast, yes.
Thank you. Okay. All the other ones are still fine. They are available out there. If you have boxes, they're really cool websites that are now listing recipes that you can do with your leftover cookies, including, I love this idea, Thin Mint, Oreo dipped. So Thin Mint on top, Thin Mint on bottom. You make an Oreo cookie sandwich, dip it in chocolate all together.
Then dip it in oil, fry it, Tennessee State Fair.
Well, you got to put something else. You
Yeah.
can't just dip it in oil. You have to like dip it in a
Batter.
batter.
Yeah, battered. Yeah,
Battered.
Like panko covered.
Battered,
Yeah,
fried,
so,
scattered,
there
smothered,
you
covered,
go.
chunked. That's what you're looking for at any time. All right, so Girl Scout cookies, if you need some, go get some. They're still on sale. They just have a few of them left. Congratulations to our buddy Kip Moore. He's going out on tour with Billy Currington this summer.
What an interesting pairing.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's been a while since Billy's gone and done a full tour.
Well, we had this conversation last night. Kip was playing on the Opry last night. He did a Q&A after in a special acoustic session. And I said, hey, you're going out with Billy. And he said, we have become really, really close. They surf together. So Billy goes to...
Really?
Yeah, Billy goes to Maui. Billy spends a lot of time in Hawaii surfing. And Kip started going down and surfing with him. And he goes, we have become like brothers now. So this is going to be another one of those just, we're hanging together, having a great time out on tour. Kip Moore, he's touring Canada first, and then he's going to be out with Billy Currington doing a lot of dates this summer. So make sure that you get in on that. Okay, one more story that we want to tell you about. Post Malone's Traveling Tailgate. We volunteer. We would love to host the Traveling Tailgate. Unfortunately, Nashville is not on the list just yet. So he's bringing the circus to town, y'all. He's going to be out on his, I hate saying it, the Big Ass Stadium tour. I try to say it quickly. With Post Malone.
You
So
just
it's
say the Big A.
the Big A. Post Malone, Jelly Roll, Sierra Farrell. They've got some really cool places they're going. And certain ones, you get the Traveling Tailgate, which means carnival games, merch, local bands, food, probably some fried food.
This should be a part of every show.
Right? It's not.
I love that,
Las
though.
Vegas, AT&T Stadium down in Texas, Arlington, Atlanta, Detroit, Boston, Miami. You will get the tailgate. We don't have one coming here.
Well, we don't even have the show coming here.
We
yet.
don't have the show
But
coming
I bet you the show is coming here.
Okay. Favorite artist you've seen in a stadium setting?
Taylor Swift.
Second favorite artist?
Garth Brooks.
Okay, let's play Garth Brooks to close out the show.
Oh, I missed my cue.
We'll be back tomorrow, everybody. It's Coffee Country and Cody. Join us tomorrow morning here on WSM. Bye.